is to communicate with them. Number one, interest rates are like super flexible over the years, right? If you look at interest rates since 1950, right? 1950, interest rates would go up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, I just told you they were at 18% at some time. They were 11% another time. Not too long ago, they were at 2%. Now they're at 6, 7%. Maybe next year they're at 6.5%. Maybe the year after that, they're at 10%. I don't know. But you know what has consistent growth? The value of homes, right? Since 1950, the value of homes have risen by 300%. Now, do we see some dips in the market? Yeah, of course. But what always happens if we have a consistent growth up and to the right, right? If we have that consistent growth, what we continue to see is that we'll go up and then we get a little dip in the market. Then we go up, then we get a little dip in the market. Then we go up, then we get a little dip in the market. Then 2008 comes and then we have this big dip in the market. But then what happens like 4 years later? We're above where we were in 2007, right? And then we continue to see this growth. And now here we are, 2022, going into 23, and we're starting to see the slightest little dip in the market, but market's still moving. So we all know that we can get paid leads. And we know that we can all get them from different directions, right? There are a bunch of different places you can get paid leads from. You can get them from Google, PPC, you can get them from Facebook, Instagram ad flow, which we're going to get into February, March of next year. So it'll be a lot of fun, right? Or you can get them from Zillow or realtor.com. I know a lot of that. Some of you are going like this, like, no, not Zillow, right? But hey, guess what? I know some folks that are paying Zillow a ton of money and happy as a pig in a blanket, man. They love it, right? And guess what? It's because they're closing deals left and right. Yeah, they're paying for those leads, but they're closing deals left and right. Okay. And that's what matters to them, is closing that business. Okay. And you've got your sphere of influence and your past clients. Let's draw a line here. Let's put that over there. And let's put this here. By a show, yes or no in the chat. Yes or no in the chat. Do you believe that your sphere of influence and your past clients are more important now than they ever been? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. Yes, 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 yes. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because everybody's concerned with the shifting market, and these are people that you actually have legitimate communication with, and you have influence over, sphere of influence. You have influence over that you can communicate with, and you can explain to them in the best layman terms that I just gave you what's happening in the market truly. Somebody said it, trust. They trust you. They trust you. Your sphere of influence, hopefully they know and like you, but they trust you. Your past clients, if you did a good job for them, they know, like, and trust you. Do you know what happens though? Our sphere of influence, we only see them at barbecues, weddings, and funerals, right? I got a funeral tomorrow. Everyone's coming to my house after the funeral tomorrow. I said, babe, how many people coming over? She said, 60 people. I go, we know 60 people in this family? 60 people, right? Weddings, funerals, barbecues, that's the only time we get together, because we, as sales professionals, don't take the time to communicate with them. Now, you might look at me right now and say, Dave, I communicate with them. How effectively? Do you really spend time? Do you set yourself time block 2 hours, at least 2 to 3 times a week to hit your sphere of influence? Have you downloaded the contacts from your phone and put them in a spreadsheet, fixed them up, and added them to a proper CRM or to a follow-up system? Have you done those things, right? Are your past clients, do they remember who you are? Do they remember who you are? Or were they a transaction? Did you close them, then walk away from the table, right? And say, great job, congratulations. Here's some, wine and cheese or champagne bottle or whatever it is that you buy them, right? And Here's my cutting board with my name on it, right? And then I'm out and never really communicate with them, right? So Kat says, I'm embarrassed to say. It's true. You know why? Because Kat, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not because we're bad salespeople. It's because we're freaking human. Okay? That's what it is. We're human. We're human. You know, and we live in a world that's very fast paced with all the information on the planet right here in this cell phone. And so more people are able to advance faster and faster and faster and faster. So we need to take some of this information and we need to automate some of this stuff so that we can create a position for ourselves to attract without having to be the attractor full time. Does that make sense to you guys? Type yes in the box if that makes sense to you. You want to attract without having to do the attraction full time. Okay. Now, the reason that we're bringing this up is because we, of course, want to introduce Frogman Follow Up to you. And I personally think that this is going to be one of the most groundbreaking pieces of your business. Why? Because, and of course, Dan's going to do this much more justice, but imagine if you can do the task that I'm going to give you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, some of you know this task. I saw somebody type in there. Who was it that typed? There's a Tisha. SA contacts, LOL. That's right. You know exactly where I'm going with this, right? There's an app that you can download from the store called SA Contacts. SA Contacts. Now, if you download this app into your phone, okay, this is what you're going to do. Listen, I'm going to erase all this shit. And guys, listen, I'm so serious about this right now. I'm telling you, I sat in a room in Orlando a couple weeks ago. I was invited to speak on a panel up there. And I gave this exact assignment out. And I said to them, 90% of this room is not going to do this assignment. You know why? Because it's a task and it's mundane and it takes work and effort. But those of you that do it, you will sell 3 to 6 more houses over the next 6 months. Right? Type yes in the box if you think, I want to sell 6 more houses in the next 6 months. There you go. It's simple, right? Of course, everybody wants to. I didn't even get yeses. I got yes, right? I got hell yes, right? And then you take this piece right here. Get SA contacts. That's number 1. 2, download your contacts. Now, what SA Contacts allows you to do is that it connects with your contacts app on your phone and it downloads them for you. And then what you could do from the app, from SA Contacts, is you can email yourself a spreadsheet of all your contacts. Next thing you're going to do is clean it up. Now, here's the tricky part. When I say clean it up, people hear, I haven't talked to John in a long time, so let me delete John from the list. No. Delete CVS, hospital, Walgreens, Publix, pharmacy. Those numbers that are businesses, delete those numbers. Get those numbers out of the way, not cell phones. Delete those numbers. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Because John, if you ain't spoken to John in a long time, it's time you pick up the daggone phone and call John. Because it's not John's responsibility to remember that you're a realtor. And he don't give 2 poops about your Instagram and how cool you look in your pretty dress in front of that nice house. Does not care. What they do care about is developing relationships and constant communication. So you take this, you clean it up, and then you're going to call everyone. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up again is because it is officially December 1st. We are in December, month 12 of the year, by the way, right? This is when everybody gets slacky. I had an accountability call this morning. I said, guys, it's December 1st. Not Hanukkah, not Christmas, not New Year's. Thanksgiving's over. All that shit's done. You got 2 weeks of grind and hustle left in you. And if you want to take off Christmas week, by all means. I don't. Some people don't. You will. Doesn't matter. Whichever direction you go, you're right. But for the next 2 weeks, when there are no holidays and nothing happening and no vacation and kids are still in school, call every one of those contacts, every single one, confirm the phone number is still working, get a good email address, and wish them a happy holiday. Like for real. Hey, Dan, how you doing? David here, man. Long time no speak, man. How's everything going? How's the family? Fantastic. Listen, bro, I just wanted to call you and wish you a happy holiday. Let you know that, if you ever need anything real estate related, I'm still here, man. Hey, listen, Dan, I got this email, dan@happygrasshopper.com. Is that still a good email address? Yeah, awesome, man. Look, dude, I'm going to put you in my system. You're going to get a couple of emails from me. I'm doing newsletters and stuff like that. My real estate business is pretty blowing up. I promise I'm not going to bombard you. Now, I can't say that I promise I'm not going to bombard you because I send about 2 emails a day. But for most of you, you might do a newsletter once a week and a just listed, just sold. And that's okay. That's acceptable. That's acceptable, right? I believe in bombarding people with emails. I love it, man. Even if they never open my email and they delete it each and every time, you know what they do see? My name. Before they click the little checkbox and delete, they actually have to see my name, title the email and go, yeah, I don't want to read this right now. But one day, somebody's going to wake up in the morning. His wife's going to come out the bathroom with a pregnancy test and she's going to go, I'm pregnant. And he's going to look around and go, shit, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment. And then he's going to go to work that morning thinking, we need to step up to the plate. And my email's going to come back up again. He's going to go, it's that David guy. And I'm going to get that phone call. You understand what I'm saying, guys? You never know when life is going to happen. So I stay in front of folks as much as possible. Okay. Now, once you've updated all the information, I want you to take this information and upload it into a solid CRM or Frogman Follow Up to do the work for you. Now I'm going to pass this to Dan. Everybody, please type in the chat box, welcome Dan. I'm going to pass this over to Dan. I'm going to let him take this opportunity. I'm going to unpin myself. I'm going to get the hell out the way. And Dan, I want you to be pinned up here and I want you to take over and I want you to really, really express what you've developed and built here. Guys, Dan Stewart's an amazing guy. He's a genius behind the screen. He's built an entire tech company, sold it before he was 40, could have had the entire time to retire, but Damon and I are similar. We're never probably going to retire. And we're just going to keep grinding it out and building new things and having fun with people and helping people succeed. So thank you, Dan, for joining us.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here, David. Thank you. And hi, everybody. It's so cool to join you and be part of your lives today. I'm looking at the screen here and I'm going, Mike George in New Smyrna Beach. I lived in New Smyrna Beach. I graduated high school in New Smyrna Beach. I'm looking around. I see, where'd she go here? Karen Spinks in Tampa Bay. Well, here I am at my horse farm just outside Tampa in Odessa. So I love that we've got so much Florida in the room. I love to see my old buddy Kat down in Fort Lauderdale. I love to see the energy of this group and the commitment to be here to encourage each other to do the right things and get better results for yourselves, for your families, and of course, for your clients. So first, let's just make sure you guys can all see me and hear me. Give me thumbs up. I'm coming through, right? You can hear me. Okay, awesome. Glad to hear it. I am going to teach you so much in such a short amount of time, your head's going to do this, right? And guess what? That's okay. This session's recorded. I have a ton of content we've loaded for you inside Frogman Follow Up. You do not have to learn every single thing that I'm saying for you today, right now. You can soak it up over time. That's cool. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to dive in. Let's get that popped up there. Again, looking for some thumbs up. You guys should be seeing Frogman Follow Up on the screen now. And let me just adjust this real quickly. Get to the right spot here. So you should be seeing.
That's only just a determination you guys have to make. As far as the paperwork is, I think it does that you guys stand to have half of everything. And listen, if she doesn't live there, it's not like she's going to live in the property.
I'm gonna.
Dan, you might have to. All right, there you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
No worries. We're good. We are good. So what I've just put up on the screen for you is just a little bit of my background, right? I don't want you to be impressed with me. I want you to be impressed with what we've learned over the past 12 years of serving real estate professionals, because this is what's going to help you. So if you have your phone handy and you want to connect with me personally, just grab that QR code or go to danstewart.com. What this is going to take you to, by the way, is a digital business card that each of you have inside Frogman Follow Up. So again, I'm going to be paying attention to the chat. I'm watching your pictures. Does anybody feel like they're on a roller coaster right now? We've heard the cliches, right? We know real estate is a roller coaster. We also know, certainly as Floridians, that a roller coaster is really a highly engineered, systematic experience. Think about that. You know, go to Disney World, go to Busch Gardens. You can't get on a roller coaster where an engineer didn't decide every nut, every bolt, every twist, every turn, every drop. All of that has been worked out in advance. From the moment someone gets online until the ride has ended, after the ride has ended, they've considered that entire customer journey, that entire life cycle of that experience. And because they've considered that, people are willing to stand online for an hour to go on a 3-minute ride, right? It happens. So what I'd like to do is help you put this concept into your real estate business. There's a lot of talk about sales funnels today. Let's generate a lead. Let's nurture that lead. Let's turn that lead into a client. And, you know, as much wisdom as there is in that, it's really only half the picture. You know, if we divide this image in half here, what you're seeing on the left is your classic sales funnel. Like, you generate interest, you get leads, you build trust, you convert them. Yay, you get paid. Awesome. And according to NAR, the average GCI per closing is $6,000. Nothing to like turn your nose up at, right? I know a lot of us are in markets where our GCI is much higher than that. And yet it's just a small drop in the bucket with what's possible on the other side of that funnel. Every single year that you're in real estate, your career should get easier and more profitable, because you've got this growing base of people who know how awesome you are, right? You don't have to be the best agent on planet Earth. You just have to deliver a wow experience to them at some point during the transaction, and they will become an advocate for you. So I'd like to ask you guys to enter some stuff in the chat here for me. How much do you think a customer is worth on this side of the funnel? What's the lifetime value of one past client who's sending people to you? What do you think that number is? Go ahead and put it in the chat for me. Is this thing on? You guys can hear me? Come on, here we go. Here's
if you don't know, just make a guess, guys. What do you think they're worth to you?
And we're seeing a pretty good variance here, right?
Yeah.
5K, 100K, 5K. It's so interesting. You know, if you've got good data, you can make good decisions. So I will show you what your real estate association, NAR, tells you your average lifetime value of a single past client is. It's a whopping 117 grand. 117 grand.
Wow, that's huge, man.
I mean, let that sink in, right? Because so many people in real estate are like, I got to get a new lead. I got to get a new lead. I got to get a new lead. And if you have past clients, if you have a sphere of influence, they're worth exponentially more as long as you do the right things, right? As long as you do the right things. And, you know, like we've talked about, there is fortune in the follow-up. Everybody knows they should be working a database. And yet most agents are like, oh, database. Oh, you've got the love-hate relationship with your database. It's tough to get things organized, right? That's why David went through SA contacts with you. It's tough to figure out what to say, who to say it to, when to say it, how frequently to say it, for how long to keep saying it. Like all of those things can drive you absolutely crazy. And I get it. When you're doing database nurturing right, it's money. It pays. It's awesome. It's amazing. And when you get it wrong, it's just a headache. You know, have you ever done that? Have you ever sent the wrong message to a group of people? It's like, oh no, what did we do? I mean, it's just so easy and straightforward to do this right. But so much of the time we get in our own way. So one of my goals for today is to relieve you from that sense of guilt you might be feeling, but not about not working with your database. So, you know, raise your hands for me. Anybody here feel guilty about not staying in touch with people you could or you should? Of course you do. Of course you do. It's human nature. You just went through this intense experience with a client. The transaction is done. You got to get paid. You're moving on to the next one, right? They're busy moving. They've got all that stuff going on in their life. Next thing you know, it's months have gone by and both of you are feeling guilty. You're feeling guilty you didn't reach out. They're feeling guilty because you did such a great job for them that they felt like they should have stayed in touch too.
Hey, so, Dan, you mind if I jump in real quick?
Not at all.
So just on that topic, I put up a couple stats. One of them is 89% of buyers admit that they would use their agent again or recommend their agent to other people. Okay. But then listen, that's 89%. But then listen to this staggering stat. Only 36% of sellers who used a real estate agent found their agent through a referral of friend or family. And only 27% used the agent they previously worked with to buy or sell a home. Biggest reason why? They forgot who their agent was.
Yeah. I mean, it's so sad. It is such a lost opportunity. I'm going to get personal here for a moment, guys. As a kid, I moved all over Florida. I had 14 schools before I graduated from high school. You know, I didn't have any special upbringing or background. And yet somehow I've gone on to start multiple multi-million-dollar companies. Like I look back at my life and I'm like, how did I even do that? And the older I get, the more I realize that, you know, relationships are the only thing that matters. Our relationships are everything. No matter what the market is doing, it's your relationships that are going to get you through it. Whatever your GCI goals are, whatever your retirement goals are, whatever your legacy goals are for your family, they're easier to achieve through relationships. Now, the thing about relationships is that they only live in one place, and that's in conversation. Stop talking to your spouse and see how well that works out, right? If you want to have a healthy relationship, you must have conversation. And the side benefit for those of us who are in this career path is that conversation leads to contracts. If you have more conversations with people about real estate, you're going to find more people who want to buy, sell, and invest in real estate. It's that simple. And, you know, from a high level here, I have 37 million contacts we're nurturing for real estate professionals today. The data is clear. Like we do not have to guess about what works. We do not have to guess about what the results are going to be. We've done all the math. We've boiled it down into one special number we call the relationship ratio. So, you know, let's clarify. There's a difference between a contact and a relationship. So what if they walked in your open house a few years ago and you've got their contact information? Will they recognize you at the grocery store? Right? That's kind of a nice little barrier I like to think of. So what we're looking at is the number of relationships you have and how many transactions that turns into over the course of a year. So the relationship ratio is for every 100 people you maintain a relationship with, you'll find a minimum of 12 transactions per year. We have some members finding as many as 30. It's out there. You can absolutely get on it. You just have to make sure you're saying the right things to the right people at the right time. And that is a big challenge, isn't it? You ever sit in front of the keyboard and you're like, oh, I know I need to say something. I just don't know what. Well, we've tested everything for 12 years. like subject lines. You want a great open rate, you have to have a great subject line. It's important. It's not an option. So we thought, hey, let's run some tests here. Let's see what we can do to create the best subject lines, the highest open rates possible. And so one of the things we tested was using emojis versus not using them. So I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Which one do you think would get a higher open rate, with the emoji or without? Just say with or without. Okay, emoji, David. Thank you. Go ahead, write in with. This is exactly what I thought the test would show. Like, it seems like that would be the result. The data actually says it's neutral. The number one thing that influences your open rate is the use of a question mark. Like, how crazy is that? If you want a higher open rate, you need to use more question marks in your subject lines. Ask questions, you'll get more people answering them, right? Straightforward. Another thing we tested, HTML versus text-based email. Like, we got the nice and pretty on the left, and we've got just plain text on the right. Which one do you think is more effective? Pretty or text? Pretty or text? Okay, text, plain, pretty, text. I'm always interested to see this here because we've been trained. Constant Contact and MailChimp have told us for decades, you got to be pretty. You got to represent your brand. You need to send email marketing that looks like email marketing. The other side of that is we all have a filter in our brain now. And the filter says, if it looks like email, it's safe to ignore. Don't make it look like email. Don't make it look like marketing, right? Plain text crushes. This message that we sent, 73.2% open rate. I mean, that's outstanding. And these were to cold contacts. So, you do the right things with the right message, the right way at the right time, it works so much better. And that's exactly what we've built into Frogman Follow Up for you. So there's no mystery about what you need to do. For all your past clients in Sphere, all those people who know you, definitely know you, would recognize you at the grocery store, the right follow-up sequence is 41 touches per year. 41. That feels like a lot, doesn't it? This is what the data says. We're going to start with a baseline tempo of email. Once every 3 weeks, we send a non-salesy conversation starting email. Every 3 weeks, there's brand new content loaded into Frogman Follow Up for you. So you won't ever have to figure out what to say. You'll just have to choose the message that you like the best. Now, the texts and the ringless voicemail drops, they work as a 1-2 combo. So let's imagine it's David's birthday a week from today. He definitely knows who I am. Week before his birthday, you get a text from me. Hey, David, it's Dan Stewart. Am I the first to wish you a happy birthday this year? There's 100% chance your past clients in Sphere will respond to that message. You'll have a nice little text conversation. You'll beat the rush on Facebook. They'll remember that connection. Now, on their birthday, we want a ringless voicemail drop. David looks down at his phone, missed call from Dan Stewart. His phone never rang. He just thought he missed my call. So he listens to the voicemail, and there's my voice wishing him a happy birthday, right? So we set all of this up in a way that you don't have to remember to do it. You record the messages, the system handles it for you, right? So birthdays, transaction anniversaries, up to 6 holidays per year that you pick. And then once a quarter, we send a lead harvesting message. Right? Lead harvesting message gets it done. Now, when you start sending these messages, I need you to have some realistic expectations, right? We've probably all tried some keep in touch service in the past. We've all had this shiny object pointed at us, and we hope it'll work, and then it doesn't. This is going to be a different experience for you. So when you send your first message, you need to expect to get replies, and they're going to show up instantly, even if you're skeptical. We got this message from a member, Cassidy Chow. she was super skeptical. She only loaded 3 contacts to test it, and she got her first reply just a few minutes later. I recently taught a class for real estate webmasters, and I gave them some scripts that they should use. And here's one of their members saying they used the script in a text message. They sent it to a bunch of people. Responses are rolling in almost as fast as I can reply to them. So think about that. If you're looking at your calendar and it's a little light, if you're looking at the number of transactions you've done this year and are saying, unacceptable, I need to do more, you need to have more conversations. And Frogman Follow Up is a way you can start those on demand whenever you choose, right? I'm going to jump into the system here in a moment. First, let me give you a couple of screenshots. We load new messaging once every 2 weeks. You'll notice that the content is rated. You'll find some messages in there you don't like at all. That's fine. You'll find some you think are absolutely perfect. I would encourage you to send the messages you like the best. And I'd also encourage you to feel free to edit it and make it your own. Right? So I'm going to show you a non-salesy email. Let's take a look at this one. Subject line says, Blockbuster finally pivots. And it reads, hi, David, did you see this? Blockbuster's last store is now an Airbnb rental. And then, of course, it links to the story. They've set it up with 90s furniture, TV, VCR, and all the movies you can watch for $4 per night. And call me crazy, but I actually love this. It kind of makes me wish they'd paid more attention to Netflix and pivoted sooner. Speaking of real estate changes, do you know anyone who's thinking of moving? Or even someone we could convince to move if they got enough money for their home? Thanks. And then it's signed Randall and Vanessa. Right? Now, I know as I'm reading that message, some of you are like, that's awesome. I would absolutely send that. And some of you are like, Dan is crazy. Why did David bring him on this thing today? So whatever your perspective is, you're right. You're absolutely right. There's always going to be more content in there. You should choose the messages you like the best, and keep in mind that these messages wouldn't be here unless the data says they really work, right? So let me see your opinions here. Give me a yes or a no in the chat, whether or not you would send that message. Yes if you'd send it, and no if you wouldn't. Go ahead and enter that. Bunch of yeses, okay? I know there's got to be some no's coming. Oh, we got a maybe out of Kat. I love it. And yes, you can edit. You absolutely can. I love to see so many yeses here, right? We're focused on real estate all the time. Our past clients in Sphere are not. If we're only playing the real estate song, they're going to change the channel. They need to listen to something else. Now, I'll show you the data from this send. 53% open rate. Went to 198 people. There were no opt-outs. There was 1 complaint. So, you know, if somebody marks your message as spam, that is what they're really saying is call me, right? You pick up the phone and you say, hey, David, it's Dan Stewart. I wanted to call and apologize. I saw that you marked a message I sent you as spam. Gosh, you know, am I sending you too much stuff? Right? And they're going to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. And then you can just resubscribe them. No problem. Now, this message that was sent, here's what the sender had to say about it. Within 90 minutes, I received this email back from a client that closed in 2013. I figured I'd share so you can see how easy the flow is. Now, the email coming back, just look at this middle part. Are you able to give me an idea of what we could list for? Like, wouldn't you love to have that reply? That would be an awesome, awesome thing for you to experience. And then, of course, later that same day, he's posting in his company Facebook group again, got a second email from a client that closed in 2017. If both of these alone were to pan out at all, we're talking between 1.5 to 2 million in turnarounds. Like, that's absolutely solid, right? So I am going to show you an example of a text message. This is a quarterly lead harvesting message. It's different than the birthday message. It reads, it's Dan. How are you? It's been a little while since we've touched base. Is there anything I can help you with? Now, I know you're looking at that and you're like, what are you, Shakespeare, Dan? That's amazing. I'm being sarcastic. Any of you could write that message. This is not a challenge to write. It's a challenge to actually send it out on time when you should be. So we make it easy for you to stay on pace and to get replies like this one. So here's a member who writes, I just sent the first mass text. We got one listing that just went live. There'll be a buy associated with it after we close. We're able to refer a commercial agent who's looking for land to build an RV. So that's, 3 potential commissions from just one text message. I believe conversation leads to contracts because I've just seen it so many times over the past 12 years. I also want to set expectations that the value in what we're doing, sure, it shows up as these deals. It also shows up as a reminder for people that they can refer you. Like, for example, here's one of our members sent the exact same text. There it is. And his past client, Christina Garcia, she screenshotted it. She grabbed his business card and she wrote this raving fan post about him on Facebook. She doesn't have a deal to send him, but there she is on social media telling everyone else how awesome he is. And look at specifically what she's praising him for. After 3 years, he still occasionally checks on us. Who does that? Your past clients want to hear from you. You just have to, know the right things to say. Ringless voicemail drop. I'll show you one of these. This is what we call the Friends and Family Listing Program. The way our system works, the script is there. You just click record, you talk into your computer, and then we send the message to the right people at the right time. And we got a lot of great feedback from this message. Here's a member reaching out saying he got 2 listings in 24 hours from sending that message. So you guys have to get out there. You have to send these messages. It's going to make a huge difference for you.
Hey, Dan, I want to jump into, for the folks that are asking if you can adjust the emails or change them or so forth and so on, I would encourage you to try it as is at first, especially, those of you that are not really great at marketing or have done the beta testing or have done the market analysis or any of that stuff. Like Dan's company has spent 12 years developing this. So the emails and text messages that are in there because they work. Right. So if we go in and we meddle with something that works, it's like trying to make a wheel square again, And so, I would encourage you, before you go in and jazz it up your way, just try it first and see if it works for you.
We have a great testimonial from a member. She said something like, just push your trust button and let the messages fly. Because, you really aren't prepared for the kind of response that's going to come in from these. Now, I'm logged in here to Frogman Follow Up right now. I'm on the dashboard page. This is designed to keep you on track with your messaging throughout the year. You'll also see that we have an integration with Revaluate. So Revaluate is going to let you know which of your past clients in Sphere are likely to move. When their score is above 80, they're going to show up here. Here's my contact that's almost certain to move. And Revaluate is saying that because he's posting on social media about a new baby they're expecting, right? They're tracing your contact's social media posts and they're observing them for lifestyle changes that indicate people will be moving. And Jennifer, I see your question pop up. Absolutely, there's messaging here for that. And I'm going to jump around here. I've already given you guys some examples. I've shown you some emails. Here's a bunch that are currently available. You just preview them. You choose the one you like. You edit if you choose, and out it goes. You can create your own in the system. The voicemail drop scripts, they're all loaded here for you. They're ready to go. One of my favorites right now is this shifting market message. Strongly encourage you guys to send this because, think of that buyer a couple of years ago who made 67,000 offers before they finally got to buy a home. They're feeling a little anxiety right now. What is the market doing? What does it mean for their future? I'm going to encourage you to offer leadership to the community of people that you serve. And these messages are going to cue you up to do that. You'll see there's some quarterly lead harvesting messages here. There's some holiday messaging. When you first log in, our system's going to run a tour for you. It's going to take you through the system so you can see what you need to do to get everything set up. And of course, we also have support available for you as well. Now,
if you guys, some folks have asked me over the last few days, what's a voicemail drop? So, and I'll just give you a voicemail drop is a voicemail that drops into someone's phone without making the phone ring. Mm-hmm. So basically their phone gets a message that says like, you know, Tim left a voicemail, right? Because specifically, if these are past clients in your sphere of influence, you probably should already be in their phone, right? So it'll say, you know, Tim left a voicemail, and they'll click on that to listen to the voicemail. And that'll be the drop that you have created and automated for the right time.
Well, I'm a huge fan of voicemail drops when they're done right. Like, hey, it's Dan Stewart, Tampa's best listing agent. Call me now at blah, 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 blah. That people are going to hate you. They're going to come hunt you down and beat you to death.
I thought that was the working one. I thought that was the one.
I mean, that is a horrible voicemail drop, right? So pro tip, when you're recording these, just grab your phone and use it as a prop to put you in the right mindset. These are not magic spells. They're scripts. You don't have to get every word perfectly. Go ahead and make it your own. So like, I'll record this one right now. Hey, it's me, Dan Stewart, over at Happy Grasshopper Real Estate. I'm reaching out because a lot of people are asking me about all the changes in the real estate market. And I thought you'd like an update too. I know there are some things I want you to be aware of. So just call me back when you get this. You've got my number. It's 727-533-5175. Thanks. Bye. Feels like a voicemail, not like a radio commercial, right? So you'll see there's a training video section where we walk you through how to do absolutely everything inside the application. And we also have free one-on-one white glove setup calls. So there'll be a link for you to do that later. I'll just drop it in the chat here for you now. It is happygrasshopper.com/white glove. So let me put this here for you. So if you need help getting your account set up, you can just go there and do that. Now, I need to set some expectations. I have just a few minutes left. I'm teaching another class starting in 3 minutes. There are a few things I want to show you here. We create great social media content that you can rip and strip immediately. You can grab messages that you like, just copy the text, download the image, and post them on your personal social pages, not your business, right? A lot of you have subscribed to services where a company posts for you. Well, the algorithms at social media have changed. They're not sharing that with as many people as when it comes directly from your device. That's why we've set it up with copy and text, copy and paste. So all this content is all new once every 2 weeks. You'll be able to send that out immediately, and you'll start conversations on social immediately as a result. Another quick feature dump here. We have these really cool desktop robots that write cards for you. So I'm just going to pick a card here real quick. And whatever font you choose, that's what it's going to look like inside the card. So I'm going to zoom in here. This is written with a real ink pen. And notice that these letters don't match each other. Like this E is different from the other E's, right? They're all different. So no matter which font you choose, we're going to follow that same convention. It's always going to look like you wrote these messages yourself. And this is the font that I use for most of mine. And if you choose, you can just grab a gift card provider, choose your dollar amount. We'll put that in the envelope. We'll write the card. We'll write the envelope. We'll slap a first class stamp on there for you. And we'll even take it to the post office. So you never actually need to touch those. And they start at just $3.85 a card. And I'll show you, this is what this one looks like on the inside. I mean, doesn't that look so authentic? Big difference from something like send out cards or some of the other services where you go, okay, that's not handwriting.
So big thing for everybody. Yvonne just posted, this is great for referrals. And that's exactly what it is. It's to stay in touch and stay in front of your sphere of influence and your past clients so that you can earn repeat business, but also earn their referrals as you continue to work with them forward.
That is exactly right. And again, keep that relationship ratio in mind. If you know at least 100 people who would recognize you at the grocery store, you should find 12 to 20 transactions just from sending this content to them over the course of a year. And, you know, as David stated here in the chat, this service is only $47 per month. So it's a super no-brainer for you to use it. And again, you've got the link there. You know, step 1, go open your account. Step 2, if you need help, book that white glove setup call, and a member of my support staff will help you through. We'll help you import your contacts. We'll help you set up your email signature. We'll walk you through any questions you've got, and we'll help you send your first message through the system. So
I've put the link inside there. It's just simple. It's frogmanfollowup.com. This right here, frogmanfollowup.com. And you can sign up right through there. You can do the annual plan, which gives you a couple months free, I believe, or something like that. Or I can't remember.
That is correct.
2 months free. And or you can go monthly, $47 a month. Honestly, guys, the best investment you're going to make. I get on here. I wanted to bring this to you guys because I get on here consistently and I talk about how important your past clients and sphere of influence are to your business. Like a lot of folks are spending a lot of money on lead flow, and that should be a temporary thing, right? It should be until you reach the point of the growth that you're looking for, because you should be able to close enough business over the years to utilize your sphere of influence and your past clients to have continued business and consistent business. But if we don't stay in front of them, there's no way that happens. So people, instead of spending $47 a month, spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on Google PPC and AdFlow and things like that, and hosting major events and so forth and so on. This is a game changer for you. This is something that you can use to stay into 41 touches a year. That's huge. That's more than what you're going to do just trying to do it off the top of your head, right? And again, in different facets, email, text, voicemail drops, thank you cards, you know, whatever it is that you're looking to do. So I felt like, you know, I've recommended Dan's company for years. And I said, Dan, we got to do something together. So we did a Frogman Follow Up. And now we're trying to bring it to you guys because I just feel like for the cost, this is the best thing you can sign up for. And right now, if you guys lock it in ASAP, like you can begin with the holiday messaging, right? Like it's just huge opportunity.
The holidays are the perfect time. Like there was a question earlier about what about, you know, in fact, I'll read it here. Is there a plan if you haven't sent anything to your clients in years, right? So yeah, a holiday message is the perfect time. It's the perfect time of year to do this. You can send a message that says something like, hi, Enrico, it's Dan Stewart. I know I haven't been in touch lately. I want you to know I've been thinking about you, and I wish you the very best holiday season. Would love to catch up. Give me a call when you can. And then guess what? Your phone's going to ring because that person is going to be eager to reignite the relationship with you too. So David, thank you. I'm super stoked to be part of your community. Look forward to joining these sessions in the future and becoming a contributor to help everyone. For right now, I've got to jump. Next class is started. So have a great
no worries. Everybody. Thank you for your time, man. Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate what you've done for us.
My pleasure. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
All right, you too. All right, guys, do you guys have any questions whatsoever? I'd like to stay open just for a couple more minutes, answer any questions that you might have. You know, like I said, right now, perfect opportunity. So when I talk about downloading your contacts, really, really digging in on who your sphere of influence is, who your power sphere of influence is, right? Those are the people that are closest to you, that will be your cheerleaders, whether you call them or not. And then there's everybody else, right? And then you've got your past clients, of course, that, listen, guys, I don't care if you closed this person 5 years ago and haven't called them back since. Just put them in the system and let the automation happen for you. Or if you're not going to sign up for this, guys, just go and do the work, right? Like sit down with the spreadsheet. Like if you don't have 47 bucks to spend, I respect that. Do the spreadsheet, pick up your phone, you paid your phone bill, and make the calls, make it happen. Send the messages, send the texts, send video texts. I'm like, this is an opportunity more than ever, especially now with the holidays. Huge, huge for you to jump on board, okay? So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Yvonne, it says, I'm trying to order, but it's breaking payment up, 97 to 47. Okay, I'll ask him about that, and I'll get right back to you, okay? So I'll send it out. I'll send it out later on by message and email, okay? But if you're trying to do the yearly, and it's showing you that it's only giving you the monthly option, I will work on getting the yearly fixed and squared away. I appreciate you catching that. Let me see if there's another place. Yeah, I'll figure it out and I'll get it squared away, okay? Is there a maximum contact number? Right now, I believe it goes up to 250 contacts. And if you need more than that, you would have to purchase a larger plan. But 250 contacts, pretty decent for, and remember, we're talking sphere of influence and past clients, right? So not just everybody and their mother, but sphere of influence and past clients. All right. Any other questions? I'll have that annual plan situation squared away ASAP. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week. And we'll continue to do this until the holiday tells us that we can't do it. Okay. All right. See you guys every Thursday, 11 a.m. Take care, guys.